Hi guys, we're live here from the SIP studio. I'm actually doing this from my house today as the studio is on a main road and there's quite a lot of road noise, so we figure it might be quieter here. Today we're going to be doing the koi. So this is an example of the sketch. Now we do have a finished product here, which I'm going to show you. So this is what we're all going to be painting tonight. It is easier than it looks, I promise that. So I'll just pop him back up. And for those of you who haven't met me before, my name's Brooke and I'm one of the artists here at the SIP studio. Obviously, unfortunately, we've had to close, so all of our classes are now going online and this is our first one. So thank you for joining us. Now we're going to start by doing the sketch. So if you have got your art boxes, you should all have a pencil. If you don't, just use one that you've got at home. You also need to get all of your paints out. So in your art box, you would have got a black, a red, a yellow, a white and a blue. So I want you to get all of those colors out. Take your time, you don't need to rush doing this. And you're obviously also going to need your paint brushes. So I've already got mine out. Now they're brand new in that packet, so just get them out and put them in some water like I have. And it's also a really good idea if you have a cloth, and you'll be able to use that cloth to get excess water and paint off as we go along. So I'm just going to grab that cloth here. This is going to be mine, so I'm just going to pop that on my table. And of course, a glass of wine because it's BYO at home. So cheers everybody. Feel free to comment and like to let me know that you're live and watching, and we'll get started very soon. So get ready, get all your paints out, get set up. Don't wear anything too good because we don't want you to get paint on you. And everyone grab a pencil. All right, well, we might start. So we're going to start by doing our sketch. As I said, this is the actual sketch and it is online. So you can go to thesipstudio.com and you can go online under virtual sessions and there's a PDF that you can download. So we might start by doing our sketch. I'll do it first and then I'll bring it up so you can see it so it's a little bit closer. But the first thing we're going to start sketching is the body of our koi. So you want to start about 1/3 down and then you're going to start sketching the koi fish. So we're going to start with our body and I'm about 1/3 down and I'm going to do it quite dark. And you want to do like a banana shape, but it's round at the end. And it comes up, and of course it's thinner for the tail. So it is just looking like that. Okay, so once we've done that, we are then going to do the head, which is just around like that. All right, and then we're going to start sketching up to the tail. So there is our sketch of our tail. I'll bring it up closer. So far what we've done is the body and just the end of the tail. Bring this a bit closer just for now. Okay, so once we've got this bit here sketched, we are going to do the rest of the tail. Now you don't have to be too neat with this. Oh. Okay, there is our beautiful tail. Now for those of you that have just joined us, don't worry, I won't be rushing, so you'll have plenty of time to catch up. As I said, just go online if you're unsure of what our sketch looks like, to thesipstudio.com.au and go to virtual sessions, and there's a little link to download this guide. So this is what our sketch looks like. Okay, so we've got our body and we've got our tail and we've got the fins coming off. So the next part we're going to sketch the two side fins here. So you don't want them where the head is, you want them about 2 centimeters below the head. And just some rough fins, and on this side as well. So it looks like that. And then of course, there's going to be a fin at the back there. So your fish should be looking something like this. Now remember, with the sketch, it's just so we know where to put the paint. So you don't need to be that thorough, because if you make a mistake, we can paint over it later. So you don't need to sketch as dark as I am either. I'm doing this so you guys can see it through the Facebook. Now we've done so far, I'll show you on this one because it's darker. We've done the body, we've done the 2 fins at the front, we've done that back little fin, and we've done the tail. So now we're going to be sketching in this little fin here on top of the body, which will go here. So you want one of the sides to be dead straight and curve along with the body, like I've drawn mine. And then you're just gonna put the little fins on top like that, and we are gonna paint that in later, so it doesn't have to be that neat. So we've got basically all of our koi fish drawn in now. Now the eyes and the little antenna at the front come later, so we don't need to draw that in. Now another option for your koi is to have some lily pads. Now it's going to depend on how large you've done your koi fish. As you can see, this koi fish is quite large, so I'm just going to have quite small lily pads. So I'm going to do them now. And just a really simple, just around, we'll do the details later, and I'm going to do one in the corner here as well. Just like that. So that is my sketch done. So I'll let you guys all catch up and take your time whilst I get some paint ready, and perhaps also have a little break for a glass of wine. But if you have any questions about the sketch, now is a really good time while we wait for everybody to catch up. You might have a question about the tail or how to do the fins or whatnot. So just let me know and I will be able to answer your questions. So while we catch up, the first thing we're going to do is our background. So I'll grab the one that's finished and so you can have a good look. So this is what our koi looks like when it's done. So the first thing we're going to start doing is the background, and of course, being water, we're going to do it blue. And you can see here that I've sort of done a little bit of a shadow behind the koi. So that's an option, you can do that if you want, but of course if you're just starting out with painting and you're not that confident, you don't have to do that. So we're going to mix up some light blue. So what you want to do is grab your big brush. So you would have had that sent to you in your art kit. Otherwise, you may already have art supplies at home, and I'd recommend that you you use quite a large brush for the background because it gets it done quickly because there's quite a lot of surface area. So we're going to get our blue and we're going to mix it with quite a lot of white because we don't want a really dark blue background. We want quite a light one. And I'm just going to move this back a tad so you can see the fish. All right, so we're getting lots of white and just a little bit of blue to start with. Now you don't need to mix a full color here. I do quite like mixing on the canvas itself. You're just wanting the colors to come together. So see how mine's not really mixed, but that's exactly how I want it. So I'm just going to start painting on now. So again, using your big brush, we're going to start painting the background. And now I don't want my background to actually be nice and smooth. I want to be able to see different colors. So I want to be able to see the light blue, a bit of the white and maybe a little bit of dark blue. So I'm going to show you how to get that actual effect soon. But first of all, we'll just get the paint on. Now, when we are painting, I want you to paint right up into the sketch. You don't want to leave any marks, and I'll give you an example. So we want to paint right up to that lily pad mark. And we don't want to say where this fit is. We don't want to paint like that and leave marks. We have to paint right up. And I'll bring that closer so you can see. So we don't want this. We want it to look like this. All right, but take your time painting the background. As I said, right up to your sketch. We've got a few people tuning in now, which is great. Okay, so I've got quite a bit of blue here. So what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of white on my brush, just like that. And I'm just going to bring it through like this. And it will just give another color. We don't want a flat color in this because it's water, and water isn't just one color. There's a lot of light reflecting off water. There's darker shades and lighter shades. So we want to sort of bring that into our background here. Keep on painting. If you have any questions, just pop them up and we'll answer them for you. So this is one of our easier paintings. So here was one of our original designs when we first opened up the studio, and we've been open up for just over a year now. And he was pretty popular. We have since changed the design. Another artist, Tamika, and she's actually watching, so hi Tamika. She actually does the koi painting now, but we thought we would bring him back just for these sessions because it was such a popular painting. And don't forget to post up photos. We want to see your progress. And if you have questions, you don't have to do the same colors I'm doing either. Of course, you can change your colors. A few people, when they've done this painting, they've chosen, instead of a blue background, they've done sort of like a murky, muddy background, because sometimes koi fish are found in ponds. So that's another option if you wanted to do that. But I think the blue looks quite nice. Okay, so as you can see the way I'm holding my brush, I'm not holding it flat, I'm holding it like this. And when I put those white streaks in, I'm going up and down. I'm not pressing that hard, I'm just pressing quite lightly. Because if you press really hard and the paint is still wet, it's just gonna mix and mix another color. It's not actually gonna separate and keep that white separate, which is not what we want. I'm just gonna mix up a little bit more. Now, if you're finding it hard to get in around the details, you can swap brushes. In your kit, you would have got several brushes. You would have got this really big one, and you would have got this smaller box head one, and you absolutely can use that to get into the detail. All right, let's keep going with this background. The background does take a while, so it's probably one of the longest things, but it's good just to take your time whilst you're doing it. Okay, how's everyone going? Does anyone need any tips, or we're still going okay? Just give us a thumbs up or a like so we know how everyone's traveling. All right, I might just change sides. I'm not leaning over it as much. There we go. You might not see me, but that doesn't matter as long as you can see the painting. All right, I'm just going to get in there around the fin. There we go. Okay, so I've got most of this side here done. So what I want to do is put in some little white light reflections. So, as I said, you get your palette and you're just going to dip your brush into the white and holding it not flat but on the side. And you just want to lightly just go up and down to get some of the different colours in. And we're also going to dip it into our blue. And as you can see, there's blue on my paintbrush as well. And I'm also lightly going to go up and down with that darker blue. Don't press too hard because once you do, it will just start mixing in. And that's not what we're after. And I think a little bit more white. Okay, so I'm pretty happy how that there's all sort of starting to look. I'll put a little bit more white in. And that's sort of what I want to do for the whole background. Don't worry if you go over the sketch slightly because we're going to be painting in quite a dark colour anyway, and it will be quite thick, the layers that we put on. So I'm sure that we will cover any little mistakes. All right, well mine's nearly done. I've just got this area here to fill in. So I'm not sure how you guys are traveling or if you need to catch up. I'll slow it down a little bit for everybody. Now, obviously our classes online aren't going to go as long as our normal classes in the studio because we do walk around quite a lot and help all the students that are participating in the class at the time. Whereas obviously here I can't walk around and talk to each and every one of you. But again, if you have any questions, I can answer you through Facebook. So please write down any answers or any questions, should I say, and I'll be happy to help. Okay, so my first base layer has been put down for the background. So what I'm going to do is now go over, as I was saying, with a bit of white on my brush and just go up and down. I might come over this side. And I'll put some white up there. And a bit of the darker blue as well. And I feel like I've made that too dark, so I'm just going to put a bit of white in there just to lighten that up a tad. All right, well, I'm pretty happy with that for the moment. So we do need to let it dry slightly, but what I am actually going to do is put a little bit of the shadow in around here. Now, this is something that you don't have to do. I'm going to show you how to do it though, if you want. So basically, we're just going to create a shadow. So the light's going to be coming this way, and the shadow's here for the fish. So we just dip our paintbrush. We don't need to wash it or anything. Even if there's paint on it, it's fine. Just put some paint on like this. Now we do have to follow the shape of the koi. So we're going to start down near the head and we're just going to follow it like this. And we're going to follow it up here on the tail. And we'll bring it back around. Blend it in a little bit, but you do want it to look like it's darker. And you can even do it right up into this area here. So we'll just put a bit in here, up there. Okay, come around the fin, and we'll just blend that down now. Okay, so we'll just have a bit of illusion here now of we've got a bit of shadow, which is what we want. So it's not a lot, but it's enough just to show that there's a bit of a difference. So I'm happy with that. So I don't need to use any more blue. I am going to wash out my brush. And what we'll do, we'll just wait for everyone to catch up on their background before we start the next section. So the next section we're going to start is going to be the body. And I might just have a little wine break while we all catch up. And make sure you're washing out your brush. I usually don't change water in this painting, but if you do, of course, just you've probably got easy access to a kitchen or a bathroom. Okay, now we are going to be going to yellow, and of course blue and yellow make green, so you want to make sure you're washing out your brush quite thorough, otherwise you're going to end up with quite a green koi. We probably don't want that. Okay, so while I wait for everyone to catch up, I'm going to explain our next step, which of course is our body. So we are just going to be using the yellow for this. I do like to put a little bit of white in the yellow. It just thickens it up slightly, but to be honest, these paints aren't too bad that we've given you anyway, so they're not that opaque. They should be okay, and yellow's quite an easy color. You don't really see brush marks in it or anything. So I'm just going to put in just a little bit of white to my yellow, and that is fine. And we're going to start painting the body. So we are just painting this area here. We don't want to go over this fin, we want to go around this fin. And you want to go right up into the sketch, just like that. Be careful not to go over too far into your background because it is blue. As I said, it's going to make a green and we probably don't want to have green. All right, I'll show you how to get a nice line as well. So you want to get a decent amount of paint on your brush. And you want to just do one stroke right up to that line, like that. And we'll turn it over. And then you've got a nice clean line. You're not going to get it if you're doing it this way. It's going to be really hard for you. You want to do it in one brush movement like this. And also you need to have a lot of paint on your brush. You can't be dry brushing these types of canvases because this style just won't work. Okay, now we just have to do this area here. All right, that is my body done. So I'll bring it up closer so you can have a look where we're up to. So we've done our sketch, we've done our background, and we've just started painting the body, and the body is yellow. Now, once we have finished doing our body, we're actually going to start on the fins. Now, we've got one main fin here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fins, and they're all going to be different colors. As you can see behind me, we've got alternate colors. So I'm just going to put a dot where I want yellow to be. So we're going to have one yellow here, one yellow there, and one yellow there. That's the easiest thing to do. Otherwise, I've noticed a lot of people when we've done our classes have gotten confused where the yellow goes. So just start by doing one there, one on the outside, and one on this outside, just so you know where the yellow is going to go. Okay, excellent. So the first thing we're going to do, we want to put some orange. So we're going to build up orange in the middle, and then we're going to go back to yellow again. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're still using our large brush. We've got our color palettes here. Now we just want to introduce a tiny bit of red to our yellow, and that's going to make an orange, but we don't need our orange to be quite fiery. Unless of course you're doing different colors, then you'll do your own. But if you're following along with me, this is how you do it. So you just want to pick up tiny bit, see, not a lot. And you're going to start mixing that into that yellow just to start with. So that's fine. If you can see, we've got the orange. And I'm going to start bringing it up like this. Now I'm not doing it this way. I'm turning my brush so it's on the side. And then that's eventually going to go to a lighter yellow at the end of the tail, the tip. So now that I've done that, I want to do that for these two, and then I'm going to come back and put more color to it. So again, we want to grab the orange. And from here, now we don't want to do it right to the end, just to there's fine. And same with this one. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is bring a little bit more red through, and then we're going to finish with the yellow. So pick up a little bit of red on your brush. You don't need to clean your brush, just pick up a little bit of red, and we're just going to flick it through like this. We don't need to over mix it. I might put a little bit more through just to darken up, that's fine. Same on this side. Oh, so I've probably done a little bit too much, but that's okay, I'll mix it through. That's all right there. Okay, so we've just darkened our oranges up a little bit. Now we're going to bring yellow back down. So I'm actually just going to wipe my brush off on my palette. Now, if you've got one of our metal palettes that we sent you, you might just want to give it just a quick little rinse. But this will be fine because I didn't have a lot of colour on there, so it's going to take off most of that orange. And I'm going to pick up my yellow again, and I'm going to bring the yellow down just like that. Okay, and I'll just mix it through. Beautiful. Now we'll do the next one. And just mix it in just about halfway. And I'll do the last one. Look, see, I always go there. Luckily, we marked those out earlier because it's a really easy thing to accidentally do. Okay, that will do for now because we are going to go back and put a little bit more detail over that later. Now we're going to do some orange down here in the head as well. So I'll just bring it up close to show you what we've done so far. So we've done our background, we've done our tail fins, and we've done the body. So now we want to concentrate on the head. So the way we do the head is we want to have lighter in the middle and then darker on the outside. So we're going to start by just using the yellow, and we're going the same shape as the head. So I want you to paint in a circular motion, just like that in the middle. And then we're going to slowly introduce a little bit more orange to the outside. So I'm going to pick up a bit of orange on my brush. And I'm going to bring it in. And it will blend somewhere in the middle, which is what I want. And you don't need to use a lot of orange. And you don't need to press that hard. Perfect, that's exactly how I wanted it. And now I'm going to do it on the other side. Starting off with the orange and bringing it into the middle. I might put a little bit more of red on there. And it's just gonna mix somewhere in the middle. Oop. So I've just brought in a little bit of my background. But that's okay, because once that dries, I can go over that. So I am just gonna wipe off my brush on that cloth, and I am gonna go back over that slightly. And I'm gonna have to leave the bottom of that, which is gonna annoy me, but I'll have to just fix that up at the end because I can be a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes. Okay, so we should have the middle a little bit lighter and then the edges darker. If you need to come back to that, you can, or even just add a little bit of white in the middle and that will lighten it up again just a little bit more. It will change the color slightly, but that's okay. Excellent, so I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm gonna leave that. And now we're gonna go back and do the fins. So the color that we wanna do the fins is red. So you all got red in your kit. Here is the red, and I'm just gonna put red marks on where the fins go. All right, so I've just dotted red on all of the koi. That's where the red fins will be painted in. Again, it's best to do it this way because it's really easy to sort of forget what you're doing. So we're gonna start now. Now I'm still using the big brush. I haven't changed to that small brush yet. And literally you can just use the red that came. If you want to change color, you might want to do yours black instead. Have a look at kois and see what colors kois are. They're all different colors. So it will depend on what you want to do. But just for this color scheme, we're going to be using red. So I'm going to start up here at the tail. And we are literally just painting the whole thing red. And we're going to come back and do the layers afterwards. And just carefully go around that tail. Doesn't matter if it mixes in too much because these are all warm colors anyway. Of course, we probably don't want it to mix in too much in the background because red and blue do make a purple. Okay, there's one fin almost done. All right, we'll just go right down to that base. All right, there's one. Let's do the others. Of course, you can take your time. You don't need to do it as quickly as I am. I'm just going to have a little bit of a wine break. And of course, this isn't just for adults. Kids can do this as well. You might just need to help them out a little bit. We do, of course, have the kids' kits available online. And it does come with a pre-sketch canvas for them because sometimes that can be quite a difficult thing to do. And we've got the tutorial up online, which is the elephant, ready to go for whenever you're free and want to spend some time painting with the kids. All right, so we've got the tail all colored in now. Now we're going to come down and do these fins. Now, if you want to swap brushes, now's a good time because it can be quite difficult to do these fins. And I would recommend if you're going to swap to a brush that you swap to that brush there. So I might swap to it just so I can show you how to paint with it. So we're just going to, it should be already been in water, so we'll just dip it in the paint. Now you'll have a little bit more control because it's a smaller brush, but it will also leave more brush strokes. But that's okay in this painting because we are painting a fish. It's not bad to have brush strokes. Okay, so there's one done and I'll come over and do this one. All right, there is the second fin, and we just have this back one to do now. All right, now that's all of the outside of the koi done. We just need to do this fin here. Now this fin is of course going to be red, but we will put some detail over it a little bit later. Okay, so that is the base of our koi. Now we do need to let it dry a little bit because we do need to put some more layers on. So whilst we're waiting for this to dry, we can actually paint the lily pads. But what we'll do, we'll have a little bit of a break and a little bit of a wine break, get something to eat, catch up, because I know I can sometimes talk fast and also paint fast. And whilst we're catching up, what I do, I might show you our children's art kit, because I know a lot of kids have been really excited, and we're really lucky. One of our artists, Tamika, has come on board and she's given some free things into that kit as well, which is great. So I'll just go grab it and show you. Okay, so if you're going to order an art kit for the little ones, this is what you're going to get. Basically, you're going to get all the paint. So you're going to get the 5 colors, and those colors you can use obviously to mix all the other colors. If you're not sure how to mix colors, we've got one of these for you. You've also got a gift voucher for when we do reopen, and we will be reopening when we're allowed, of course. The kids have got a brush set, so you've got 4 different size brushes that they can use. We also have a little pencil for them. Now you get 2 canvases. So you get 2, they're 20 by 25 centimeters, and one of them will come pre-sketched for the little ones as well. Now, instead of the metal palettes, you're going to get 2 of the ones that we use in the studio, and I use these all the time because you can just chuck them out when you're finished and the paint doesn't go down the sink, which is always a nice thing. And then Tamika, I'll just pop that down, has kindly done up these little packs for the kids so they're not annoying you at home and they're not on the iPad. I know mine has spent most of the week on his iPad doing homework apparently, but I very, very much doubt that. So she's done up these great little colouring in books. And there's lots of activities for the kids to do. This all comes free, of course, that Tamika's kindly done up for the kids. So they will absolutely love that. And there's also some of these stencils. Now, Tamika does really beautiful realism art, and you can actually buy her prints online as well. But these are just some nice little ones for the kids. So that all comes in the kit for them too. Now, of course, fluid art might be your thing. Perhaps you don't like this style of painting and you prefer to do fluid art. At the studio, I do teach all the fluid art, and it's a style that I quite like. So we've sort of been experimenting, and obviously when you do one of our classes, you are going to have a lot of choice of colors, and we have metallics and we've got all sorts of things. Posting them out to you, obviously we can't send you all the colors, so I've just picked the most popular colors, which seem to be the ocean theme. So you're going to get some really beautiful blues and aquas, and you're going to be able to create something that looks like this, which I will put up a video and show you how to do it. But I'll quickly show you what's in the little art kit that you get. So if you order our Fluid Box art kit, you're going to get some base white paint, which is in here, which during the course I'll explain why we use this brand. and other brands you can use, and what you need to do and mix with it and whatnot. You're also going to get these little shot glasses. They're not for drinking, they're for actually mixing the paint. To mix the paint, you're obviously going to need some paddle pop sticks, so you get quite a lot of those. This is our special pouring medium. You get 2 of these, and again in the course I'll explain what exactly they are and how to mix them and why they're important. These are the color choices that you're going to get. So we've got a beautiful blue, an aqua, a black, and a bright blue, and they will make a really beautiful ocean theme. Of course, you need some cups for pouring, and we ended up getting the bio cups. They are biodegradable, which is great. And you get some gloves. You also get 2 canvases. So that is a really great little starter kit for you guys, and we'll upload the video on how to do fluid art and make some really beautiful canvases this weekend. All right, so you should all be caught up by now. So I'm hoping that you've got your background done and you've got your koi done as well. So now we're going to go and we're going to do the lily pads. We do need to make a green because in our kit we didn't get green. So I'm going to show you how to make a green. It's pretty simple. We do have the little color art wheel if you're not sure, but just follow along with me. It's yellow and blue. Now we want to make quite a yellowy green, so we're only going to add a little bit of blue to our yellow. So let's just we'll get some yellow and a touch of blue, not a lot, a little bit will go quite a long way. And we're just going to mix it up. So it's already doing the yellowy blue, or yellowy green, sorry, that I wanted. So that is perfect. Now, again, we're just going to put the paint on because we are going to do another layer. And if you do get some yellow in with this, that's fine because lily pads aren't just one color anyway. And I have changed. I'm still just using my little brush because it was there, but you can use the big one. Okay, there's our lily pad. That's one, and we're going to do this one down here. I'll come on this side. Yeah, and being a little bit rough because I'm going to go over it anyway, but we just want to get the green in. Okay, well, I'm quite happy with that. So we've got green in our lily pads. Now we'll go over our koi and we're going to put some details over it. So it should have had a little bit of time to dry. Now we all want to swap to our long, thin brush. Now the first lot of detail that we're going to put over is the scales. So the scales are done in an orange. So if you don't have any orange left, you're just going to have to mix it, which is of course red and yellow make orange. You want it to be quite a dark orange as well. So I've made quite a dark orange, which I'm pretty happy with. Okay, so I've got quite a lot of paint on this brush and we're going to do the scales. So I'm just going to bend down and show you how to do them. My head might be in the way, so I apologize for that. Now, they don't need to be big. They're just going to go around like so. So we start them and they start getting bigger and wider and the body, and then as you come to the tail, they're going to get smaller and they're going to get closer together. So that's generally how fish scales look like. They're not the same size over the entire fish. They're generally smaller at the tail and then they get a bit bigger. So that's exactly how we are going to paint them. So we'll just Usually I would be right in front here doing it, but I want you guys to be able to see. So I might jump over here so you can see better. Okay, perfect. And I need a bit more orange. Okay, so they're bigger at the body and a bit further apart. And now I'm going to start going smaller. I probably want to go right up to there. So now I'm going to do smaller ones and they will get closer together. Just like that. Excellent. So they're the scales done. Now I also want to go through and put some random dark scales. So sometimes in fish, not all scales will look the same. Sometimes they will have like random colors of scales. So we're going to just do a couple of black ones actually. So I want you to get black on your brush and just randomly pick out 3 or 4 black ones that we're going to do. So have a look and see if there's any spaces. So I've got a little space here. I'm just going to do a black one like that. And I might do a black one here. And I might do one in the tail there. And maybe one here just to even it out. So I'm quite happy with that, to leave it like that. So they're the scales done on our fish. So now we're going to do a little bit more detail in the fins and also in the head. So the detail for the head, I want to do a little bit more orange. So that orange that we just used for the fins, put that on your brush and just along the top here, I just want you to add a bit of a highlight of that darker orange. Just like that. We are also going to use this color to actually outline our fish too, but I just want to do this for the head to begin with. All right, so I'll just leave that like that for now. Now, while I've got this darker color orange, I'm going to put it through the tail. So I'm going to start putting it through where the tail is yellow. And it's just going to be like that. Really easy. And we'll do it for this one. And we'll do it for this one. Don't press too hard, just press nice and thin. And that will give you some detail. Now we want to do the white. Now, because they're red, we can't go orange. We're not really going to see it. You need to do a lighter color. So we're just going to go plain white for where the red tail is. So get your palette. You're still using the same brush and you're dipping it in the white. Of course, you've cleaned your brush in between. And we're just going to do the same. And we're just making those lines wavy. You're not pressing that hard. It's quite light. Just like that. And we're also going to do the same with the side fins and this one as well. And we'll also do the little back one too. Excellent. Okay, so our koi is starting to come together now. We're also going to put a little bit of white just in here. Okay, excellent. Now we need to do our eyes. So our eyes on our koi are just plain black. So that should be quite dry enough. Now I do need to fix this section here because I went over it and made a green. So first of all, I'm going to see if I can fix that. And if I can't, I'll just have to wait for it to dry. So I'm just going to go back over it with that yellow. That's a bit better. Okay, we're going to put the eyes on the koi now. So they're just in black. Still use your pointy head brush. They don't need to be too big, they can be quite small. So one like that is fine, and we'll do another one up there. Okay, there are our fish eyes. So it's definitely starting to come together now. So the next step we're going to do is work on our lily pads before we do our final step, which will be outlining our koi. So lily pads are green at the moment, but we need to put some colors in there. So using that orange that you mixed up, I want you to still use this brush and dip it in the orange. Now we want to create some veins on our lily pads. So usually the veins start from a point and come out. It's okay if the paint's still a little bit wet because it will mix in. So the first thing we're going to do is outline it. And it's okay if it's a bit wet. And there's one, and we'll outline this one. And I'm going to add a little bit of white to my outlining as well. Just to give a little bit of light. Okay. Now we're going to do the little veins, and we're going to do them in that orange color. So get that on your brush. Now I'm going to do the veins coming probably from this point over. So we're just going like that. Don't press too hard. Excellent, and we'll do it on the other side. So the veins on this side are going to come up from here. Just like that. Okay, so our last and final step is to outline our koi fish. So the outlining is going to be done in that really dark orange, almost red color that we have mixed. So I've got mine here. If yours is a bit light, put a bit more of the red into it. Now outlining can be hard. Our paint's quite thin, so usually I would recommend putting our paintbrush in water first and then outlining, but because the paint's not that thick, it's okay just to use. Now we want to outline the head, so we're going to come around. I'm just going to skip the eye because it's probably a little bit wet, just like that. And whilst I'm here, I'm also going to do the little antennas. So you want to do them not where the eye is, but in between the eyes. So there's two of them. So we'll do one like that. And one just like that. Okay, so we'll keep outlining. You might not actually need to outline the fin, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now take your time when you're doing this. Outlining is not always that easy, and you do need quite a steady hand, and it is good to put your pinky on the canvas. My background's still a bit wet, so I can't do that. So I need to try and have a very steady hand. Now the harder you press, the thicker your line will be. Okay, I'm going to come to the other side. Okay, we're going to outline here. We're going to outline the body here. Just like that. And we're outlining the tail up the top. I probably won't bother outlining these because they're already quite dark. And that is the end of our koi. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's looking pretty much like the original that I did. Oh, can't see. It's looking very similar, so I'm quite happy. Now, if we did this in the studio, it would obviously take a lot longer than what we just did because we'd stop for little drink breaks and walk around and help people, mix colours for people and all of that sort of stuff. But obviously it's a lot quicker here whilst we're filming. So we will actually film this and put it up for you. So if you were not able to follow along with us because you perhaps tuned in late or you just weren't ready or you haven't got your art box, we'll have it up there so you can do it in your own time. But thank you for watching our first live video. It's the first time I've done one of these and hopefully I just improve as we go. But look, let us know if you want to order an art box or if there are any of our designs that you would like us to actually do. So we do have a few that we'll be doing and we'll be putting them up this weekend and letting you know. Until then, everything's on our Facebook, so if you tune into Facebook, you'll get all of our updates. And yeah, thanks again for watching and we will talk to you soon.